Hey guys, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. My name is Jason and I'm a spiritual teacher. At least that's what I'm aspiring to be. I believe I have 55 subscribers now, so making progress. And every day seems to be getting a little bit bigger. I mean, this will lead me to what this video is about today, actually. So what is today about? It's about the path of this progression of spiritual awakening, what it looks like, and maybe even what it feels like a little bit. So you guys will notice that I have my obligatory gray sweatshirt on again. Now this is mostly what I wear in every video, and some might assume that I only have one of these, and you would be wrong. I have three, I believe. I have this exact sweatshirt. Now what's that? Why is that? That's an autism thing. So this particular sweatshirt is extremely comfortable for me, and I like the way it feels, the softness and the way it fits on my body. So, and we tend to like specific colors, and we tend to stick with those colors. So you'll often see us wearing the same exact outfit. This might be something you'll have noticed in certain people in the public. For example, Mr. Lex Friedman, he always wears the same exact suit. I think that's the only thing he uses is this black suit that he has. He has like 10 of them. He just wears them over and over. So if he's not aware of it, Lex, if you're watching this, screen yourself for autism, because there's a good chance that you are autistic. That's beside the point. So today has been particularly rough. Actually, the last couple of days. Now you'll see I'm surrounded by my Palo Santo, which I like. I prefer sage, but Amanda likes Palo Santo. And that cleanses the energy in the room. I've got a malachite crystal. I've got a carnelian flame that I just bought a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago. I love this thing. So that is orange and red. So that assists with clearing of energies in your sacral and root chakra. Then we have labradorite heart. We got amethyst for your third eye. We've got agate and opalite and some selenite. And I find a lot of feathers in my travels, which I take as messages from, well, the universe. And then we've got my deck, my tarot deck, which I like to use all the time, actually. I play with this constantly. It's a type of divination, which I'll talk about in another video. So I've been struggling the last couple of days, which led me to the thoughts about how this awakening journey goes and what you can expect it to look like. The awakening journey is not enlightenment. And until you reach the enlightened state, you will get drawn back into this matrix. You will. It's the way that the universe teaches you the lessons. It's a way for you to learn those lessons and then walk up the ladder a little bit higher so that you could learn another lesson. And until you're not drawn back in and you're able to go with the flow of the system without any setbacks, you are not enlightened. Now that doesn't mean that bad things will never happen to you anymore. So a lot of people think that on this path is when you finally get it, it just goes on a straight uphill line and you're off into the sunset. Everything's just good all the time. This is not the way it works. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating, and everything has a frequency. And a frequency has peaks and troughs. This path to awakening is an upward slope, but it's an upward slope with 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Now these backward steps are not actually backward steps. You can't stop the trough. You can't stop yourself from experiencing these lows. What you can do is not get drawn into them as deeply, which means the back of the next peak builds from a higher point and you ascend quicker. This is the way it works. So it's a slog. It's hard to stay grounded all the time. The universe is going to force you into an ungrounded state in order to teach you these lessons. And sometimes it's just processing of energies. So I'm not sure exactly why I'm in a trough at this moment. And the point isn't to, I'd like to figure things out, but it's not really essential. The key here is to ride that trough and not fight it, to go with the flow. So it's hard, very hard to do. You will not succeed at this every time, but that is the objective. It's to go with the flow. So what does that mean? It's a 2-step forward, 1-step back game. So you'll go through periods where everything seems to be ticking along. You're progressing on whatever path you're going. You've learned lessons and everything's great. And then it will start to slow down. Your subscriber count will stall. This is just an example for me. Or you'll start having disagreements in the house. Or there'll be a financial pinch that comes out of nowhere that you're not expecting. And that's the next test. That's the start of the trough. So as you make it up your slope and you start to peak, expect it. Expect it to come. It's going to happen, no matter what. So what you want to do is try to hold your energy high and stay aware of what's happening here. The journey up to the next slope will be quicker, maybe not quicker, but it would be less painful if you don't fight this turn. And if you try to look at this as, what is the universe trying to teach me? What is this downturn for? There's always a reason. We're not doing this for no reason. Like, all of these are lessons. So, the last couple of days, I just cannot stay grounded. I can't. I'm struggling. Doesn't matter how many crystals or how much Palo Santo I burn, or how many reassurances I get from tarot readers that I like, which are all pointing in that direction, that everything's going fine. My manifestation and the vision that I've seen for my future is on track. Everything's fine. But I'm still going down through this trough. So how do you go with the flow on that? Well, at first, it's very difficult. The first few times you notice that this is how the pattern works, and you start to go down that slope, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to hold anything. You're just going to go through the motions. You're going to get drawn back into the matrix, and you're only going to get clarity when you start to come out the other side. Now, I seem to be able to get more clarity as I'm going through it, but I still get drawn in. I still do. I'm still not an enlightened human. I'm not. And I'm not claiming to be. I'm claiming to understand how the system works. I'm not claiming to be an expert at actually instituting these things yet. But I do know that I'm going to get there. I do know it's possible. I know people who do. Eckhart Tolle, for example. He does not get drawn in, and you could, I've seen reporters yelling at him and trying to draw him into an argument or something. And good luck, you're not going to do it. And you can't do this with the Dalai Lama, and you can't do it with a lot of other spiritual people, because they've done more work, they've been at it longer, and they are better at it. Simple as that. They're higher up this path. Maybe they were born into a society that encouraged this from a young age, like the Dalai Lama. He's considered to be an incarnate Dalai a llama. I don't know how that works. Maybe I should look into that one more. Anyway, he's from a long line of the same being reincarnated into different bodies over time. That's the way they look at it, and it shows. He's done this, and he's been nurtured from a young age into being a enlightened being. So I'm on this path. I'm confident that I am. But man, today I might as well just be a regular guy, and that's fine. Being fine with that is the key. It's okay. I'm just in a trough. It doesn't mean I'm back to square one. It doesn't mean that I have to go back through all of the shadow work, all of the trauma, all of the lessons. Every time I learn one of these lessons, it's one I don't have to learn again. It doesn't mean that every bit of the trauma is dealt with. It means that I keep dealing with it, and we keep progressing. We keep ascending the frequencies. This is what's happening. If you look at R.J. Spina's work, he says to ascend the frequencies. It's exactly what you're doing. You're climbing a frequential sequence, ascending the frequencies. When you get high enough, you'll be able to do things that will seem almost magical. I know this, and I know that a lot of some of the purported things that have happened in history that people deem impossible are actually happened, and they were from beings that did this, that ascended these frequencies in this three-dimensional world that we're living in right now. So I've got my stuff around me. I'm trying to hold my frequencies. I'm trying to stay in the flow. I'm trying to keep in my mind that I'm just on a downturn, and that stay in the flow of that state. So what I've done is I've actually gone down to our camper by myself to make it a little bit easier, because when you're doing this with other people and you're an empath, being around other people who are struggling or going through similar things, or even unless they're of a higher frequency than you are, it's going to, and your vibration's low, it's going to draw you in. It's just more ammo. There's more problems that can happen. So I've decided to just come here and get some peace and quiet by myself, and try to ground myself a little bit before I integrate back into society. And I'm hoping that this doesn't take very long, and everything is, everything's okay with everyone else. And this is the battle. Amanda's going through an enlightenment herself, and she's going to be going up this frequency. And if our climbs don't align perfectly, it can lead to struggles. And if I have a low vibration as well as her having a low vibration or ungrounded state, it's going to be nearly impossible for us to interact without being at each other's throats, really. I mean, it's not anyone's fault. It's just the way the system works, Something's happening to me. And by that I mean I've reached a different level. When I am grounded, my mind is very, very quiet. This is not something that I've been able to hold on to for very long before. But even in this period where I'm on a downturn, I feel when I can get away and I can get my feet on the ground and I'm in a quiet place by myself, it's completely silent. And so something's different now. Something has changed. I don't know if I've released some old energies, some old trauma, which I have. I've gone through some more. Or if it's just reached a critical point where there's not as much left to do. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to formulate what's going on. But, I feel like I'm on the brink of something important. Like something's coming. I've been trying to manifest, which is the wrong way to describe it. I've been manifesting something into my life here. And it's close. I can feel it to be close. But there's this last little push where I'm in a trough and I have to try to hold on to the faith that this is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And that is the test, you know. If the universe is going to test you, it's going to make you wait longer than you think you could possibly ever wait. And it's a test. Are you going to hold the faith or not? When things really get tough, are you still going to hold on to it? When you've been at this for a month and you still only have 55 subscribers, which I love all of you guys, I do, but I need to pay my bills. Do I have enough faith to know that the universe has got my back and that nothing bad is going to happen to me or my family? It's not. I know it. I know it with every fiber of my being. But when you get into that low, ungrounded state in the trough, it's really hard to see. And when other people around you don't quite have the same level of faith, or they're in a trough that's a little deeper, it makes it even harder. I'm an empath, but so is Amanda. You know, so we feed off each other's energies. We know what the other person is feeling before we feel it as if it's our own, or almost as if we're one person now. It's gotten really weird times. But, you know, if one of us is struggling extra hard to hold the faith, the other person gets drawn down with it. So we're ascending as a team, and sometimes, man, it's hard. So anyway, that's where I think I'll leave it today. I was going to call this one an ungrounded rant, and I may do another video a little bit later here. I'm down by myself doing nothing, so I'm just trying to hold the faith and keep my frequency high and get grounded and do all that stuff until this, whatever this is, breaks. And we can start being peaceful again, you know, and happy and not stuck in our heads, which is so hard. Like, it's just so hard. You know, I got my leather brown book. I got crystals in front of me. I got everything that I like to have around me, but it's a lot better when you have the people you love around you too. And I'm, you know, like I've said in a couple of my videos, I've spent a lot of time being lonely and by myself, and I'd prefer not to do that for the rest of my life. You know, I'm not gonna have to, but it's been a lot of years of this, and you know, I just want to get over that last little hump so that things can be easier. So that's where I'm at today. I think I'll leave it there. So like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.